Women are the reason women are insecure, not men. I'm a Middle Eastern female. So I'm sure you could imagine the bullshit I got for my nose and stronger features in high school growing up. I honestly won't even put that into account. As I got older, I knew that men who were interested in me never said anything about my nose and my features, or that I'd look better with a certain style of makeup. I've never once met a guy who complained about a female's features. I remember sitting in the living room with my mom and she would make comments on a female who was okay looking and say, ugh, she'd look better as a blonde. This is just one example. I've heard nothing but women complain about features other women have, and I've never once heard a guy complain. Maybe very young guys who are materialist and like a bad bitch. Those guys are cringe-worthy, like the females who act that way. My point being is that men never see shit women see. My BF never notices if I do my makeup a certain way or not because he doesn't care. He doesn't look at my nose and think, yikes. Wish she'd change that. Actually, not once has a guy commented on my stronger features, and most of my life I've always thought I was ugly and disgusting because my female friends encouraged me to get a nose job. I see girls on social media who edit their photos to the point where other girls feel like that's how they should look to get a man's love or attention. When in reality, you could be the most unattractive woman in the room, and if you give a guy attention, he'll take it. Sure, guys will think some women aren't attractive. That's normal, but they don't have the same standards as what a woman thinks it's beautiful. It's so ridiculous. Also, don't even use the argument about how men draw women in comic books. Have you seen those men? They make the male attractive too. We make attractive people in our art, and that's okay. We know it's not real. Sorry if this sounded like a rant. It's just annoying to me to hear women complain about what men like when they are simple to please. Edit. I'm not blaming women for my insecurities. I'm saying that women are more judgmental on physical appearances than men are. I felt insecure about my nose because I allowed them to make me feel like shit for it, but I'm only human. People pointing out my flaws when I didn't see them at first obviously brought something new to me. Edit. Maybe the title is misleading to the simple point I'm trying to make. Sorry for that. Men don't care as much about looks as women do, therefore women have more of an impact on women feeling insecure about themselves than men do. One time a guy I knew made fun of the hairs on my chin. Another time a guy I knew made fun of my arm hair, but honestly, even a lot of my insecurity does come from myself. A lot of my friends tell me there's nothing wrong with me, but I still feel terrible most of the time. This happened at my high school with cellulite. I have always been tall and lanky, female, so in high school I never had cellulite. That's changed now, but SHH, the guys didn't know what it was until one girl showed them. And then it became a thing that girls with a perfectly natural thing were less attractive. I watched it happen and it blew my mind. I think it's usually that popular male standards for a woman is essentially taken by many women as the only standard, and it ends up being projected by women to other women to meet these standards. It's one of those, hey, I get attention from guys, and you don't because XYZ. I don't see who those edits are necessary. Clearly people are misreading what you are saying. I don't think you are wrong with that opinion. I think it's about equal. I would assume the reason men don't talk that way in front of you is simply because you are a woman. But I do believe men talk that way to other men. My husband is extremely guilty of this. He says things in front of me that I can't believe is coming out of his mouth, like, she would be prettier if she lost all that weight, or yuck, she should wear makeup. It drives me nuts, and he does it less often now, but I do think it's equal. No dude ever stood in front of a naked chick and thought her nose is too big, I'm not going to bang her. Agree. 94. I have definitely heard many men disparage women on their looks. This may not be true in your life, but it's not universal. There have been plenty of women who have been made insecure by men. I don't know, I think we should stop making blanket statements about this type of thing. My experiences have been the opposite. I've been made fun of by guys a lot more than girls. Girls are sweet to me, usually. Girls have always been more likely to stand up for another girl that's getting torn down based on her appearance, as well, in my experience. Even online, there's men literally picking apart how women look, debating whether or not said woman is attractive to them, as if it matters. My stepdad is the worst when it comes to this, unwanted judgment and unnecessary insults. When women do bring other women down, I think that's their own insecurities being projected, or they're upholding societal beauty standards they themselves feel like they have to conform to, so they expect the same of other women. I've seen guys shame women a lot more just because they find them unattractive, but I know women do the same to men. I think it's just something human beings do. I think this is because when we are young, women are more likely to criticize our appearance than men, so it has a bigger effect on our self-esteem. But, let's not be assholes here. It is naive to say that men don't care about looks as much as a woman does. I am Middle Eastern myself, and it surprises me that you would say this honestly, as many South Asian men, and women of course, I'm not trying to divert from your point, are very open about commenting on a woman's skin color, eye shape, ear size, shoulder width, arm hair, lip size, acne and wrinkles, body shape, all from male co-workers, bosses, family members, classmates, random men she just recently met. But you're right, women pit themselves against each other, and navigating puberty and young adulthood would have been so much easier without women constantly trying to tear everyone else down because they see them as a threat. Cowboy hat face.